So good evening, everybody. Thank you for everybody that's made the journey here this evening from Edinburgh, Cheltenham, Leeds. So we've got people kind of come all around the country and Bristol to join us this evening. So we're incredibly thankful for everybody to do that. So I'm going to talk for a little bit, but before I do that, I'm going to invite a couple of people up to join me as well. So first of all, thank you for coming. Welcome to the App Advisory Plus launch party. It's amazing to see so many people here this evening. So all of the beer and everything else wouldn't have been possible without people helping us out. So I'd just like to introduce Karen John from Silverfin just to come up and say a couple of words.
Thanks, Will. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here. A really exciting initiative. I must say I'm a real believer in empirical evidence, and so I always look for reviews of other people doing things and getting opinions, and that's what I really found was encouraging and exciting about the App Advisory Plus. So really honoured to be part of it. Silverfin is a cloud platform. We do compliance, we do stat accounts and corporation tax, but most importantly to this community is that we do insights that point towards which apps that clients should be using. So as we think about the evolution of business models for accounting firms, but also the evolution of the business model of your clients, then it's so exciting that we can have engines to help us with that and so many great apps. So enjoy the drinks. For me, this is like a precursor to Christmas, so I'm going to say Merry Christmas now, and it's a great way to start. And thank you for joining us. Thanks, Will.
Thank you very much, Cameron. So thank you very much to Silverfin for their support. So you've all come to the App Advisory Plus launch. I have the fortune, I guess, to stand up here on behalf of the whole team. Clearly, there's more than one person involved in kind of making stuff like this happen. Some of you will know most of the team, but for those that don't, we're all here this evening. So this is the wonderful team that have pulled all of this together. So big round of applause to the rest of the App Advisory Plus team. So where did this all come from in terms of the vision? I mean, some of you will know a bit about my firm, Farnell and what we've done over the last 10 years. We were very early to this kind of cloud technology thing, and whilst we've spent 10 years kind of learning the ecosystem and how to get the best out of the technology that's available to us today, we still get faced with challenges with clients where we don't know the answers. We're quite fortunate in that we know a lot of people, so we can pick the phone up and we can ask questions. But we were looking at a project for a client, it must have been about 18 months or so ago now. And the client, we were implementing Xero and Receipt Bank and Workflow Max for the client. But they needed purchase order processing as well. So we went and found a new app that we didn't really know much about. It's called Approval Max. And Approval Max are here as well. And I must have spent, and the team must have spent between us 5 or 6 hours trying to find the answers in terms of how do we make these different bits of technology fit together. And I thought, well, we kind of are the kind of leading edge here in terms of the way that we use technology, and we didn't know the answers. So I picked up the phone to Jonathan and Emma and said, hey, I got this idea, because we look around and we look at technology, but if we can't find the answer, I thought, why is nobody giving us the answer? Why isn't nobody that we can pick a phone up to, we can log a support ticket, and they can go away and do all the research for us? And that was really the start of what became App Advisory Plus. So we had that conversation. And on the back of that, originally we talked about launching this before XeroCon last year. But I think, if anything, the fact that we paused it a bit and waited until this year was probably the best thing we could have done. I think we could very easily have been lost in MTD, and I think the market's more ready for what we're trying to do now than it was 12 months ago. So that's kind of really good. So I've got a whole load of thank yous to say because we had this idea. It was going to cost money to build it, and we thought, well, how do we do that? And we went out and we found a bunch of really great accounting firms and bookkeeping firms that said, actually, you know what, we like what you're doing and we'd like to get involved. So we signed up 20 founder members who have given us feedback and supported us through the development. And they're all up here for you all to see. Many of them are here today. So we've got Ascentis, we've got Farnell Sampson, Bookkeeping eSolutions, Bully Davey, Davis and Bullock, Duncan and Topless, Advanced Track, Effective Accounting, ESP, Kinder Pocock, Lesser & Co, Counting Clouds, Nefos, Nicola Hageman, Northern Accountants, Tyrrell & Co, Scott & Bland, Rowland, Red Brick and PEM. So all of those guys that supported us, they bought into what we were trying to do, and we're really, really thankful to all of you guys, and make sure that you come and get some photos with us and things before the evening's out up here. So thank you firstly to our founder members. Secondly, we couldn't do this without the apps. And again, we went out to the apps and we picked up the phone to people that we knew and we liked and said, hey, we've got this idea, what do you think, can you come and support us? And we had some exclusive apps, who are the apps that are exhibiting here today. We had some light apps, and since we kind of got closer to launch, we've had some support from a whole bunch of other apps as well. That number's going to keep growing. We're really excited about what we can do to support the app community as well. So they're all there: Approval Max, Capitalize, Chaser, Citrus HR, Fathom, Float, Practice Ignition, the Seat Bank, Soldo and Unleashed as our exclusive apps, and Go Cardless, Carbon, Trip Catcher, Xavier and Sahara as our light apps. So again, big round of applause for all of the apps. Thank you very much, guys. That got us to the point of being able to build a platform. I'll talk to you about the platform in a moment. We've got a couple of other people to thank. The Profitable Firm, We Are PF, whatever you guys are over in the corner here. They've helped us pull together this launch event. We're accountants and bookkeepers and tech people. We don't plan events. So these guys have helped make this happen. And if everybody has a look around, it kind of really made this a really great event. So, so thank you very much to Karen and her team. And a special thanks. Simon is here somewhere. Simon from Curious at the back there. So Simon's the guy that's taken our ramblings and ideas and turned it into a platform. That means we have something to kind of talk about and launch. Simon's been amazing at kind of challenging the things that we've said and coming up with ideas that mean the platform that we now have, whilst it's only the start. We've got a whole load of software developers in the room here. You know that the journey never stops. It's kind of constant evolution. But we have something that we're ready to start showing people and hopefully getting people excited about. So massive thank you to Simon and his team for building the platform. I'm getting there. So what have we built? Because some of you have seen it, some of you haven't. I'm not going to give you a live demo. We've got a computer up there if anybody wants to see it. It's kind of over there. But very broadly, what we've done, the first part is we've built an independent app directory, and we really want to emphasise this point about independence, because you can use Xero, you can use QuickBooks, they have separate marketplaces. We want one place for people to go to be able to find the apps that are going to support their clients. And our vision when we set out was that we want to help accounting and bookkeeper firms support their clients and make the best use of technology. And in the process, we can help them build new revenue streams and new ways to generate income. But ultimately, it's about supporting their clients to use the right technology for the things that they need to do. So hopefully the directory is the start point for that. So that's kind of the start of the platform. We've got apps kind of being updated and uploaded every day. We're going to approve apps, so it's not a case of we're going to have the 800 apps on the Xero ecosystem will automatically be on our platform. We want to make sure that we're selecting the right apps and we're comfortable because we're putting our kind of independent reputation on the line with every app we put on the platform. So the directory is kind of the hub of it all. This is the homepage. You can see that it's all live at appadvisoryplus.com. We have an online community, so there's lots of Facebook groups out there, but we want to make sure that everything that we capture when firms are asking questions becomes searchable, so that people can find the answers when they need to find it. So the community is built on the platform, our members can ask questions, we'll work with the apps to get the right answers to those questions. We have a help desk, and this going back to my example of our challenges with kind of implementing Receipt Max, Approval Max, Workflow Max, was I wanted somebody to ask the question, and I wanted somebody to do the work for me. And ultimately this is what the help desk is about. It's the first line for firms to pose a question, and our team will go away and they'll do the research and they'll find the answer. So that's what we've built as a platform. We're really excited. The feedback we've received over the last 3 months or so has really given us the belief that what we've done here is something that the community is going to value and find really, really useful as they move forward. We have some launch offers. We are extending our launch offers to the end of December, so if you're talking to accounting firms, these are offers that we've had in place. We have, in terms of the platform, we have 2 options. The Essentials gives members access to the directory, the online community and the knowledge base, and the Professional gives them access to the help desk. So we've got some quite appealing launch offers here for the kind of the first 50 firms that sign up for each of those packages. So if you're talking to people or you're an accounting firm and you haven't signed up yet, the opportunities are there to do so. And we're going to extend that for the rest of the month. We have some interesting things to talk about, and I'd like to introduce a couple of very friendly faces from the ACCA to come up and join me if they would. So give them a round of applause.
I will. For a start, I'm not sure I've ever been referred to as a friendly face. That's rather, yeah.
It's the first time for everything.
There is. So I'll attempt to put a smile on everything.
Thank you. So please welcome Glenn Collins, Head of Technical Advisory at ACCA, and Claire Benison, Head of ACCA UK. Now I've had the fortune to do some work with the ACCA over the last 18 months, really helping ACCA help their member firms tackle the changes and the challenges that digital change is throwing up to accounting firms. So we've had lots of conversations, and Claire and Glenn have a really good view of what's going on in the market and some of the challenges that they're facing. So firstly, I thought it'd be really interesting to kind of get their perspectives of what they're seeing in the market and how the work they're doing with the app ecosystem and the general ledgers and everything else is playing out and helping their member firms. So can I hand over to you guys?
Sure, and I think actually you've summed it up really well earlier. Actually, people want independent advice. They actually want advice that is accessible going forward. And actually, when you're looking at it, they want something which will make a difference to their firm and business. So it's about, will I make my investment? And it's not about money. It is actually investment in time, investment in effort. And will I be able to sell that across to my clients? Will it make a difference to my clients because I'm putting my reputation on the line? But quite often, they're feeling exposed because it isn't like your normal tax policy or whatever else that they'll feel comfortable with. This is an area they feel, I know I need to do it, I know I need to invest, but actually, what do I invest in? How do I make sure I make that right decision? So it's, as you said earlier, independence. Help me with my time and effort and make sure I'm making that right investment. Give me somebody I can talk to for advice and the support going forward.
With that, Claire?
Of course.
Absolutely.
So what are we seeing? We're seeing lots of things. We're seeing 2 sides, I guess. One side is a real vibrancy, so there's a real dynamism in the profession, which is really exciting to see. And with that, I guess, comes the challenge for us to help members, firms and students as well who are coming up through the profession to make those changes that they need to make, both in terms of their skills but also their business models. So the flip side, I guess, to the vibrancy and the dynamism is there is some inertia for some people. They know what they need to do, so they intellectually understand, conceptually understand what needs to happen, but making that first step can be quite daunting. Very often where they just don't have the time. So things like what you've set up here I think is really exciting because it's a place to go that you can get independent advice, you can save time, and the community aspect I think is invaluable. So really excited and delighted to be here, so thank you.
And really to show our commitment also, we've just signed upstairs with Will an MOU that we're working together with Advertising Plus and actually looking at how we can get more of the product out, more of the great advice, and also your apps in the end out to our members. So thank you, Will.
So on behalf of the whole Advertising Plus team, clearly we'd like to thank you for showing faith in what we're doing at a very early stage. For us, we're really excited about the prospect of being able to work with ACCA during 2020 to support ACCA, support their member firms. So the opportunity to enter into a memorandum of understanding with ACCA at our launch event, I think certainly for us shows kind of real belief in kind of what we're doing and what we've set out to do. So now it's down to us as the team to kind of make it happen, make sure we're delivering what member firms want, supporting the app community, and this is kind of my opportunity to kind of put a plea out to all of you. We want feedback. It's why we signed up Founder Apps. It's why we signed up Founder Members. We want to make sure that everything that we do adds value to our community, whether that be the app vendors or the accounting and bookkeeping firms. So keep telling us what we can do to help you guys and help your jobs be much easier. So please thank Claire and Glenn. We're really excited about that. We've made that quite low-key really, haven't we? But these guys have signed MOUs with Xero and QuickBooks and Sage and Practice Ignition, I think, so far. To kind of be in that space is very, very exciting for us. So I'm almost done, you'll be pleased to hear, because I've got to say thank you for coming. Please take time to talk to the app vendors that are here, talk to the App Advisory Plus team. You can't miss the app vendors, they're all in t-shirts of some description. We've got loads of beer, we've got loads of Prosecco, we've got loads of red and white wine. One thing I have got